What's going on, everyone? It's your boy James, Grendel's Garage. Guys, as you saw in my little depressing video where I said I was burnt out, I talked a little bit saying that I have the setup ready for the welder. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and hook it up and get everything figured out and kind of play with it today, hopefully, depending. The boy's down for a nap, but I can hear him in the crib stirring around, so we're just going to do what we can. Just to kind of break down, they had a slamming deal on this welder. I had my eye on this welder for quite some time. I really was going back and forth of just saving up and getting a Miller or a Lincoln, and you know, I really kicked it around the bucket and I decided to go this route. One, because I'm not a professional welder by any means at all. I'm like novice beyond novice. So I figured this would be a good outlet to go ahead and hopefully perpetuate and build up my skill before it's something that I really wanted to dive into and get more into. So it's kind of like a beginner's welder is really where I would take this at. I was able to snag this for like $500 off of Amazon. So that in itself is kind of, for welders, guys, if you've done any research on it, that's kind of, that is damn cheap. This welder does have the capability to do, what is it, pulse welding, I think is what it's called. It has like pulse 1 and pulse 2. That's something I'm super not interested in, to tell you the truth. I maybe down the road we'll get into that, but I just wanted to get a MIG welder. We got our good little handy dandy welding cart right here. We have the little 135 Yeswelder down there. Guys, I'm not a Yeswelder fanboy. Their stuff's just cheap as balls. And also too, just kind of a heads up, I was looking into the Harbor Freight welders, but what I learned is none of them come with any long-term like insurance policy, no kind of anything like that. You have to pay extra for that. So just to get into like one of the Opti ones or one of the titanium ones, or Opti, whatever it's called. Anyways, but like you would have to pay X amount, and then you have to pay almost $300 just to get a 3-year warranty. Now, with that being said, this comes with a warranty, but how good is that warranty going to be? Honestly, seeing some reviews and stuff like that on Amazon, it seems pretty shaky. I'm going to be honest, but hopefully we don't even have to do any warranty or anything like that with it. But it does come with a 3-year warranty. I think the biggest thing for those guys is if something does go wrong, they want to see videos and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. I have the capabilities of doing that. But yeah, guys, let's just go ahead and take a look and see what's on the inside, and I'll kind of show you what some of the goodies are. We maybe do a little how to set it up, but honestly, like, I'm going to be watching YouTube videos on how to set it up. That's how novice I am with it. So I was able to get the one that has a little bit of the graffiti on there. Guys, the one that doesn't have the graffiti on there, same exact welder. Same exact welder. It was just the same price, so I said, okay, it looks cool, so we'll go ahead and get that. So let's go ahead and lift this up, and then we'll get some light shun in here. Shun? Light is shining. Cool. So I already removed this little piece right here. Basically, this is for you to put a big, giant roll of wire in. We're just going to go ahead and use the wire that came with it. This is 0.03, and this is the actual MIG solid wire, which is what you're going to need. It also did come with, well, this is just the empty box, but it did come with another box, which I don't even know what to do with it. Oh, I think it's down here. With some flux core wire, so that is also kind of a cool thing about this. You can obviously do flux core or MIG itself. I opted just to go ahead and put my little flux core welder down there because it does work pretty darn good for what it is. And so if I needed to do like a quick weld and I didn't want to set everything up, boom, I had the flux core ready to go. Anyway, so remove that. Like I said, that holds the big spool, and we'll go ahead and put the little spool on there. As far as the internals and everything like that goes, again, I don't know jack, but I did notice, looking at some other high quality welders and stuff like that, the operating mechanism in this area is much more robust. This seems very thin, kind of put together. I mean, it's put together super well. It really is put together super well and stuff like that. If you guys are curious, if you need to change out your roller for what size of wire you're doing, oh god, I think I got that too tight on there. It just is right here. I already have the 0.3 side on this side. You can flip it if you want to use a different gauge wire. So yeah, that's basically really it with that. Pretty simplistic. as far as that goes, and I would just say that the build quality isn't as good overall compared to something that you're going to spend $1,000 on or something like that. But then again, if it does the job, it does the job. You know, if it's something that I get down the road a little bit more, obviously we can get a better welder and stuff like that. There's plenty of YouTube channels that go through this welder, and it's like things like that. What I did find was that most of the people that do have this welder are sponsored, so you got to remember that there's that aspect. Now that's coming from a guy who also got a motor from BikeBerry and is currently reviewing that. But I think you guys have noticed in my review videos of getting something for free, I'm going to be dead honest. Now, I didn't get this for free, obviously. I paid my hard-earned money on it. But as far as the beginning welder, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alrighty, moving on over to here to see what we got in the bag. It does come with a plethora of great stuff. Like I said, you do get the 2 little spools. This did not come in there. Sorry, I'm just being a smart ass. We got our ground wire right here. That just goes ahead and plugs into the front of your welder and stuff like that. I'm going to have to figure out what's positive and negative and see what needs to go with that. Moving on, you do have the option of not running 240. You can go ahead and run the smaller one, which is totally fine. But I think if you're going to get into MIG welding, personally, and I could be wrong, I figured you just might as well go with the higher voltage, which, as you guys know, getting to this point was not cheap. One, I had to pay someone to come and put the actual 240 plug into my house. That was like $850. The gas bottle was $320. The welder itself was $500. And then on top of that, I had to get a little welding card just because I kind of wanted to keep everything together. Got that for my birthday from my wife, and that was also $100. And I'm going to tell you the truth, it's nice. Like, this little guy is nice, this little stand. But it is super, super cheap. It did take me about like an hour to put together. But I mean, for what we're doing, I think it's going to be absolutely perfect. Alrighty, moving on. What else do we get? As you can see, I haven't even completely unpacked everything like that. You do get your adapter. You do get your stinger for stick welding. That is definitely something we could probably play around with in general. Personally, I think there's a lot of back and forth as far as like old school, new school of like what kind of welding techniques is better and stronger. I think there's nothing wrong with stick. I will say I think stick does require a little bit more skill. The reason why is as you are welding, you also have more motions involved. The stick itself is burning and you have to go ahead and compensate for that as you're moving with it. But I definitely think there's a time and place for stick welding, and it's pretty cool that we have the option of doing that for a $500 welder. Some other stuff that come with it, we do have some other rollers in there, so we can run some different wires and stuff like that. I'm probably just going to keep that in the housing itself, so that way I don't lose it. Super nice. It did come with some gas lines, which that's what I'm going to be doing here in a second, is getting this hooked up to my gas bottle. So nice that it does come with that. Now, it does come with gas lines, but one thing it doesn't come with is a regulator. I did go ahead and go with a Yeswelder regulator. It's in the box and it has like a bunch of different stuff on there. So I got to hook this up. I got to make sure that we don't have any leaks or anything like that. One thing I did see was they say you don't want to run any Teflon tape or anything like that. And in my head, I thought there'd be like some rubber gaskets, but you don't need those. You should hook up just fine with no gas leaks. So just food for thought, you will have to get a different regulator. I personally wish I would have bought a better regulator, and I'll tell you why in a sec. You know what I'll talk about now. So scooting back over this way, the way that my garage is set up, my plug is over on the other side. Eventually, as you guys know, that the Falcon will not be here. I'm currently holding it for my cousin. She bought it for me. She's on deployment right now because, you know, the times in the world right now are crazy. And we will do a video on the Falcon itself. A lot of work has been done to it from what my cousin wanted to do and everything like that. So I really kind of want to do a tribute to my uncle, my late uncle, on that, but that's a whole story for another day. So what I'm trying to say is we're kind of working around it. Yes, I could take the Falcon and put it on the other side of the garage, but again, there's just too many irons in the fire. What I'm trying to say though is I had to buy an extension cord, okay? So I bought 2 Yeswelder extension cords, and this is what's kind of BS in my opinion. And this makes me nervous about getting into the whole Yeswelder ecosystem. So as you guys can see there, for the 240 plug, that top one is slightly bent in. Now, it didn't come like that. What happened was I bought 2 Yeswelder extension cords, and this would not actually fit into the extension. I got the extension right here. It's kind of just chilling down right here, and this fits in here perfect. This is like a 6-gauge wire. 8 is probably what you need. You go any smaller than 8, then you're going to be kind of SOL. But I decided to go with the 6 gauge because it was a good deal and it's robust as heck. But anyway, so I got 2. I bought one and then I replaced one, but I couldn't get the fitting to go in all the way. I even stood on it, which I shouldn't have, and I did end up bending this slightly, which really, really pisses me off. So as far as the quality of Yeswelder's equipment, I think you got to be careful. So that's what I was going to get with the regulator. I kind of wish I would have maybe just ponied up and spent an extra $50 on a good regulator. Now, how does that say for the rest of the welder? Well, I don't know yet, obviously. I haven't even fired it up. So that's kind of where we're at. We're going to be doing our welding and stuff like on this side of the garage until that is gone, and then everything's going to shift over there. So there's my rant about Yeswelder and some of their products right off the bat. So I hope this regulator does work well. If not, well, let's go ahead and pony up and get a better one. Anyways, moving on. Talked about the gas line. Here is our MIG gun. As you can see, I haven't even opened it yet. What is interesting, it does come with a graphite liner, and this is going to be for aluminum if you want to run aluminum from a spool. Where I'm thinking about doing aluminum is honestly getting a spool gun and going that direction. I think having a spool gun would save a lot of headache from switching out the different wires itself from steel to aluminum is what I'm trying to say. If it's in the spool gun itself, then I don't have to go ahead and switch the wire out. Wow, I just said the same thing twice backwards. But anyways, yeah, so you do have this option though. If you're really going to be doing like 95% of your welding with aluminum, then go ahead and put this graphite liner in the inside of your MIG gun. So let's go ahead and get this out. I've seen a lot of comments online saying that this is kind of a cheaper gun, but again, I'm not going to know the difference. Seems a lot more robust in my opinion compared to the Yeswelder little gun that they give you for the 135 one. But I mean, for me personally, I don't really have a ton to say about that. It looks like it's going to work just fine for me. I've seen a lot of guys, what they recommend too, if you are going to go ahead and weld a lot of aluminum, is buy another one of these and just have one, keep this the way it is for steel, keep the other one for aluminum. So just a little food for thought. Cool, guys. I mean, that's really kind of everything you get when you do buy this Yeswelder. And man, it's been an expensive road, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I don't know. I do appreciate the little graffiti that they have on the inside. That is kind of a nice little touch. But I do know it turns on, and from there, guys, that's all I know. Stay tuned. We'll go ahead and figure out what else we can learn and go from there. Alrighty guys, we're back. I think I have everything hooked up how it should be. I'm a little unsure of how the gas operation works on this side. We'll go ahead and scoot that way. Got our roller, our solid wire all hooked up, ready to go. The big thing about this is when you are putting on the wire, and I do know this from the other one, is this is wound very tightly. So what I do is I go ahead, I put it on there, and then I tension it super hard down so that way it doesn't move on me. The next part that you want to do is go ahead, make sure that this is open, make sure you do have the right, obviously, like I said, spool in there to have your correct wire to go through. And then when you have these little 2 circles right here, and that's where the wire is going to be stuck in there, what you need to do is I have to take my thumb and press it super hard against there, undo it, cut it so that way we have a straight shot. And you want to keep that tension in, and you just slowly spin it until you get down to where those rollers push together, and then you get it nice into there. Once that is done, you go ahead and flip this guy back up, and you're good to go, I think. One thing to note, I did take the tip off. The original tip that was in there was 0.035. So I went ahead and took that one off. I also found out that this is a nice little storage case for your rollers and a couple extra tips and stuff like that. These are different size tips, so I'll have to order some other tips down the road. So I'm keeping that right there because I think what you need to do is when you do turn this on and you feed it through, you actually want to take the tip off of your MIG gun. As you can see that we do have the MIG gun all hooked up. Going over this way with the gas, I think it's working. The only thing I'm kind of struggling with, and hopefully we'll figure that off camera, is I turn this on. We have about 16,000 PSI roughly. And then when I go to turn this on, it isn't moving. So this little ball I think needs to be up in the 20s, depending if you're running argon straight or carbon monoxide, stuff like that. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out later. Hopefully it's not like I said, hopefully it's not an issue with the actual regulator itself. Alrighty, we're plugged in to our super big extension cord. Hopefully you guys can see that. Well, let's just go ahead and do the deed, I guess. Oh, lights on. Okay. 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 All right. We have power. That's great. You can hear the fan kicking in. From my understanding, as far as the fan and everything like that goes, it's a duty cycle fan, so it will turn off and on as it needs. Which, I mean, I don't know. Personally, I think it'd be cool that it's always on, but I think some people that bugs them. Oh, there you go. The fan turned off. Alrighty, so if I did this correctly as far as this goes, I should be able to hold down this button and it should quickly feed. I'll put you guys off to the side so that way we can see. We're doing this together, guys. We're doing this together. We'll screw around with settings and stuff like that. I'll kind of like want this to be straight as possible, so a little off camera. Let's just go ahead and see if we can spool it through. So you can hold the gun down and it will spool it through, but that's going to go at the whatever setting you have your wire feed at. This should, from my understanding, make it a lot quicker. So let's just see what happens. Oh, okay. Looks like it's going through. It's going through real good, I think. I got this cord behind me, stretch out as far as I can. I'm nervous, dudes. Oh, I feel it coming from the gun. Hopefully. And all right. Look at that. Success. Good deal. Don't be afraid to watch the old YouTube and learn how to do some things. Okay, cool. So the next thing we're just going to do is we're just going to take our guy right there, and we're just going to go ahead and push that onto there. We'll go ahead and tighten that up off camera, but I do think you want to take the tips off. I could be wrong on that, but I think it just helps it get right through there. So, alrighty guys, well that was a success. Okay, hopefully that gas regulator is working and stuff like that, and who knows, maybe we can do a little bit of welding. It is turning on. It does have this absolutely beautiful screen. I know some of the Kickstarter ones that a lot of people got, there was issues with dust coming through on the backside, but from my understanding, if you have the one with the silver versus the red knobs, this little silver plate, I think they fixed that before they sent it out massively. So, alright guys, okay, fingers crossed, let's go ahead and hopefully this regulator works. Alrighty everyone, we are back. We're gonna go ahead and take a look. Hopefully we don't have too much glare on the screen. I'm gonna have to hold my hand there. We're just gonna kind of go through the settings and kind of, from my understanding, how everything works right off the bat. So you have the little knob where you can go ahead and get everything set up. First thing we're gonna do is you can click on that one, and then you can choose what you're going to be welding. Steel, stainless, and then I believe this is aluminum. We're gonna go ahead and stick with steel. You have your gas mixtures. We're gonna go ahead and run the 75 and 25 argon and CO2 because we're welding steel and that's the recommended gas mixture, and that's what we have in our bottle. Go ahead and select it. Then you have what type of wire you're using as far as the size. Then you have your different sizes. We're going to be using the 0.03. Click on that. The size of gauge that you're using. So we're doing 1 1/8 steel. This is for your trigger control, from my understanding. Basically, for T2, pull the trigger, starts welding, let go of the trigger and stops. These other ones, I think that one, if you pull it, it will continuously go. You can let the trigger go until you push it again. Spot, I think it holds it for a little bit and then it drops. So we're just gonna go ahead and stick with the traditional. Memory, from my understanding, I believe you can go ahead and do some preset settings in there, save some stuff that you like, all that stuff. Go down, you have the options of a spool gun, which is super cool. That's actually partially why I got this too, was because I do want to do some aluminum down the road, and I think a spool gun might be kind of the way to go. We're obviously doing MIG. A gas check, basically once your gas is on, which mine's not right now. I'll go ahead and talk about that here in a second. Once the gas is on, you can do that, and then boom, it tests everything like that. Then you have your pulse. Advanced settings go into there to go ahead and do some super fine tuning and stuff like that. We'll probably avoid that for quite some time because I don't know what I'm doing. Help, I believe there's actually a built-in manual in here itself. I haven't really played with that. Oh yeah, there you go. Different stuff, you can go ahead, figure out what you want to do. I think that gets me back to the home button. Oh, how do I get out of here? Great. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. Not sure how to get out of that guy. Ah, there you go. Click there to get back to your home menu. Okay, so from everything I understand, we're basically ready to go. Moving on to... Well, let me go turn on the light, guys. It might be a little dim over here. Had to do a little finagling with this. Again, new to the game, so I'm not 100% sure how everything works. I was being a silly Billy, and I thought for this one specifically that when you turn this valve on when your gas is on, that this would be like a preset to where it needs to go, but that's not the case exactly. So what you want to do, obviously turn on your gas. This is your gauge. This tell you how much is in the tank itself. You want to open this up all the way. And then what you want to do with this specific gauge, other gauges are different. What we want to do is when we pull that trigger, that little bead is going to go up to where we want it. So we're going to go for about 15 and 20 in between. So I am going to turn this on, and then you can hit that. Let's go a little bit less. Right about there for 15. Let's go a little bit more. And that's how you're going to test it. When you let go of the trigger, the ball then drops down to base, I guess you call it baseline. There's other gauges where if they have another little nodule like this, you can preset it. You still need to check it and all that stuff. We'll go ahead and cut off the wire, guys. And from there, I think we're basically ready to go. So I was going to do a little bit of welding off camera just to practice, but I figured this is a beginner tutorial, so we're going to go ahead and do it right. Stand by. Alrighty guys, we're going to go ahead and get set up here. Don't laugh, because again, I am a newbie and this is my first attempt to go ahead and see what we can do. Hopefully I got everything set up. I did forget to say you can do some micro adjustments on the two silver knobs over here to turn down either your wire feed speed or your amperage, or excuse me, your volts for how much heat you're putting into it. It comes with a preset, so after I went through everything and hit everything, it's going to go ahead and preset us to these right here. So I'm going to put you guys way back here, mostly just because I am not trying to burn up my one 360 camera. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and try tacking on something real quick, see how it goes. I could put the ground onto the table itself and it should work, but I'm using an old piece of metal, so I don't know if we get a good ground on it. I didn't clean the metal very well, but I did do a little bit of cleaning on there. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. Alrighty guys, this will be the first time ever welding MIG, so again, let's just go ahead and see how it goes. We're gonna try to throw in a couple tacks first, and then yeah, go from there. Get a little bit more wire out. Ooh, that's too much. That's too much. I'm also not used to having this protector of the gas on there, so go ahead. Let me know if that's good or not. I'll probably have to start watching some YouTube videos now. Alrighty. Woo! I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, that is so much more smooth and so much cleaner than flux core. Just right off the bat, I'm like already like, whoa, man, that thing laid down some juice on there. I can't wait to show you guys. I'm excited. All right, let's go ahead and throw another tap on this side. Oh my goodness. Guys, I think this is going to be a game changer. Alrighty. Just bring you over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that right at the bat. I can already tell that I was way too low on that. That one actually pretty good for that first one, huh? Alrighty, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to send it all the way across and see how it goes. Oh, man. I'm so used to just having spatter everywhere. Okay, well, here we go, guys. I'm to the moon already. I wasn't sure what to expect, but that was so smooth. Okay, protection first. Also, make sure that you guys do have some kind of like leather boots or something like that. When I was doing flux core about a month ago, I had a piece of slag go down there and burn the top of my foot, and man, it took forever to heal. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple practice. This on my head right here. Let's see what I'm at. That might be an issue. Oh, alright. Just stick it on the table so it stops moving. I also forgot to turn my fan on. I need to turn my fan on. I was definitely super low right off the bat, I can tell that. Doesn't have a hook, so I'm not really sure what to do with this guy right now. Let's just slap her over here. Alright, guys. Let me go ahead and, I guess I can use this, huh? See if that clamps in. Oh my goodness, guys, I am so excited. Let me grab a light, a better light. Man, I can already tell that this is going to be a huge improvement in the welding game for me. Alright. Let's go ahead and see. Got a little bit of wire right there, but oh my goodness, that is so much more smooth. You can kind of see I didn't finish it. I should have kept it going all the way across. But look how much no spatter that is. Oh, that's so nice. I'd be careful. The thing is smoking hot right now. Well, what do you guys think? First time ever laying down some MIG welding. Definitely kind of low. Would have been better to be a little bit up on the other part. See how we did penetration for heat. Looks pretty good, actually. Not bad. Let's go ahead and hit up this other side just for shoots and googles. You can kind of see it's smoking hot. Still smoking hot. Typically, you're going to want your pieces to cool down a little bit from my understanding. Now, I did not clean this side. This side is not cleaned at all. You can kind of see some old stuff that I did a long time ago with the flux. Wow. Oh, guys, this is going to be a game changer. Not going to lie. Kind of needed a win. Been pretty stressed out. I'm not going to lie, guys. Having kids and having a big boy job, whew, the parents were in lines. But this should bring a little bit of joy, something new. I love my motorized bicycles, but it would be nice to, like I said, just do something new. Something new. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and actually cut that back a little bit. I gotta get used to the heft of the gun. I know that sounds stupid, but I'm used to a lighter gun, but it feels pretty good, honestly. Okay, back on. I'm gonna kind of go like a little up and down on this one. All right. Oh man, I think we're a little hot. Definitely went too fast right there in the middle. A little too fast in the middle. Oh, jeez, wasting gas, wasting gas. All right, let's see if we can see. You can kind of see right there in the middle, definitely went too fast. Towards the end though, I think we were slamming it in pretty good. Probably too slow of a start on this side in the beginning, but you can kind of tell from here to here, we were definitely, oh, see how hot that is? That's smoking hot. Alrighty guys. I don't know, which side do you think I did better on? On this one I just went straight across, just boop, and this one I kind of was going in an up and down motion, trying to lay it in there nice and deep. Again, I think I'm kind of low on the metal itself. Interesting. Well, there you have it. Very first time MIG welding, and I'm going to say that is a much more pleasant experience right off the bat. Just trying to see if we can see where it's a little bit more gray right there. That's definitely where our heat was hidden. Alrighty guys, cool. Well, I think if I were to do it again, I might turn the heat down just a little bit, but I don't know enough to not know any different. There it is, guys. There it is. I think for me being a newbie, I think this is going to be very good and a very great start. So anyways, guys, it's your boy James, Grendel's Garage. Stay tuned for the next episode.